Hi guys, this is Starcraft and welcome back to a rematch between Rush and Best as part of ASL Season 14 round of 16 Group B. This is going to be the best of 3 between these two players and a chance for Rush to revenge against his opponent, his arch nemesis Best. Over the loss in the previous encounter between these two players. It's going to be played on new Sylphid, Sylphid 3. I don't really like this map because this map doesn't have a ramp, so every time I play these kind of maps, I always feel like the Terran has an advantage. When they push forward, the Protoss, cannot defend with cannons and high temperatures on the high grounds. And that's kind of like my favorite play, which is to defend on the high ground with some cannons and high temperatures in the late games. But anyways, I feel that even though Best won in the previous encounter between these two players, it's going to be Rush with the advantage. I mean, after all, he's the seeded player of this group. Is that right? No, sorry, he's not the seeded player. It's gonna be, it was Beast who is the seeded player. He was the seeded player of the previous ASL. But in ASL 13 seed, he didn't perform so well. He is not the seeded player. Best is our yellow Protoss located at 4 club position, and his opponent Rush is in the red color located at 8 club position. We don't have any of the players going up for scouting yet. Looks like Bashford Rush is gonna go for very early command center. This is what is it, the 15 command center after building just a supply depot and a barracks. He's going to be building a bunker here just to be safe. Now first another supply depot. Best is not scouting just yet. He's going to be saving his minnow to go for a blind nexus right after his gateway, and I think Rush correctly predicts that, and so he's going to go for a very standard build. I guess a little bit greedy on the economy side, but because his enemy's gone for a slower core, I guess he started spinning his core because he saw the SV coming in. So Best is not going to be having a chance to pound at that bunker if he has started the core right away, or if he had gone for very early scout. The fact that he's scouting very late means that it's going to be a little bit behind. He's going to go for blind nexus now without knowing exactly what his opponent has built. So that is a little bit disadvantageous. The probe comes out now. Let's see if it's going to get blocked by the SCV. No, the SCV doesn't even try. It goes inside the base, and the Nexus goes down. So no worries, just a little bit behind. Oh my god, that SCV is kind of glitching a little bit, and let's see if the probe's going to attack it. It does, but not for long, and finally the Dragoon is going to come out and start to chase away that SCV. So the game is going to be very standard and macro looking for both of these players. Factory going up for Rush. Quite standard. Rush has an eye on exactly what his enemy is doing inside of the base. He see that the core is a little bit late. We don't have anything. Okay, it's gonna be Silver Dune. So we have a lot of Dark Templar today. Today's Dark Templar day or what? Because we've seen 3 games. 3 or 2. I think 3 games with Dark Templars. Yeah, this is gonna be the 4th game. So very interesting here. At least this Dragoon is gonna be chasing out the last remaining scouting unit for Rush, as his other brethren is gonna just keep an eye out on the front and make sure that nothing can escape the front except if the vulture comes out. But I don't think Rush is gonna attempt that. Anyways, his factory is not yet done. The SCB is gonna check out the various corners of the map, make sure that there's no hidden nexus or something like that, and he sees nothing. So he's feeling okay to go and build whatever he's building, and the core timing was also on time. So everything looking usual, but Best 3rd Dragoon is going to be a little bit later, and the lack of the 4th Dragoon or another Nexus is going to be alarming to Rush, but Rush has no information. It's going to be building a starboard and go for his counterplay, which is going to be drops. But I don't know, in this kind of situation, which player is going to come up ahead, because the drop from Best is going to directly access his enemy's main base, but the drop from Rush cannot. If Rush wishes to drop the main of Best, it needs to go to the front, and that is very prone to detection and sniping by the Dragoon movement and stuff like that. Anyways, these 4 Dragoons gonna start to pound at that bunker. The engine enemy is going down. Anyways, from Rush just to be completely safe here. Starport with the control tower has been added, and I think at this point of the game it's going to be the Dark Templar that's going to be produced inside the gateway now. Pylon is just making sure that there's going to be no weird shenanigans like a hidden factory somewhere in the middle of the map, and just streaming a lot of Zealot, sorry, a lot of vultures into his base. That tank is dying to siege. The siege has been done here, and it's gonna start to hit the dragoons. Let's see if Best pulls out all his dragoons or just one. He pulls out just a single dragoons, and now Dark Templar is gonna be coming out, but we don't have any detection. Okay, we have a missile turret coming up now. Do we have? So this is gonna be just pure Dark Templar, no Robo. So the Dark Templar is a little bit faster than usual, but I think the turret is already in place. So nothing is gonna be out of the ordinary here. The first Dark Templar comes in, but good reaction by both of the players. And that turret even covers very correctly and very adequately the bunker. The dropship is going to be coming out now, and at least Best's going to have a chance to plant down his Nexus. He does, as he retreats the rest of his dragoon, which is quite good. But 4 Dark Templar coming out. No, they're going to be moving back. These vultures going to be laying some mines here, but they're going to walk directly into the path of the dragoons. But the dragoons move out of position. But no, he sees. Oh, he doesn't see. But we have a single dragoon that is going to be blocking this area here. The dragoon's going to be moving back. And where's the rest of the units? Good pylon. That pylon best needs to block his choke over here with some pylon. The vultures with speed is done now, but they meet the dragoons right here, and they take some hits and picking up the vultures and maybe going somewhere else, maybe going inside. I don't know. It looks like the drop from Rush also fell, just as a dead Dark Templar rush from Best fell. So rushes don't really work in this game so far. Looks like the dragoons are finally gonna be back home. Forge going up now, just gonna be trying to be safe against his enemy's attack. We have a Dark Templar come here. This Dark Templar could be used for defense. The vultures gonna be meeting the. Are you gonna block that ramp or what, man? Probes being transferred now, but we have 2 Dark Templar chasing these units, and so they are gonna be just escorted out here. Okay, the Comsat station is being produced now. Our Templar, what is it? The Tribunal is going to be made soon, I think. Dark Templar coming out here and chasing away the mines, but it eats single mines. And now Comsat station was deployed just on time. Oh my god, the rest of the dragoons are not in place to intercept. So this Dark Templar is going to, I guess, take a lot of hits. But why are those probes being put? I don't really understand how that works. But anyways, okay, losing 2 Dark Templar was quite poor performance. Therefore, Best Rush, I think, is a little bit ahead in this game now. The supply tails are kind of story, but there's nothing else to drop this to stop this. Are those tanks or vultures? So just a single vulture comes in. It's gonna try to get picked up by the shuttle, by the dropship. No, the dropship's gonna evacuate. And at least what's good for Best is that he's got very fast arbiters. The arbiters already started producing. These 2 Dark Templars weighing out here, if they get scanned, that's going to be the end of their lives. But I guess for now, they're going to be able to just survive for the time being and keep tabs on what's going on. Some Dragoons coming out here just to intercept the vultures moving in. An observer is also here able to spot. And Best is going to try to clear these minefields. We have a command center going up inside there. I think the command center is being constructed now. And the observer sees it. So Best is going to be thinking, what is his counterplay here just to get rid of that command center and take the most of the damage here. The Dark Templar dies. The other Dark Templar is going to get sniped out here. Maybe it's trying to attack. We have another dropship comes in, but the cannon was already in place. Trying to focus fire on some of the probe, but not good enough. Vultures are very fast with speed, but these Dragoons are going to try to clear up on the high ground, and it's going to be impossible for Rush to go out and expand. And very interesting in this PvT, we haven't seen a single dark, Reaver with shuttle with speed. You know, very reminiscent of Snow's style of play. Snow is not in this group, so we don't see that kind of play. And players like Bass and Misu decide to go more like of a Dark Templar approach with Arbiters in the late game. This command center floated successfully, and now Rush is not missing a beat. He's got very good, solid economy. I think his upgrades are also well underway. Best needs to catch up. He's gonna build another Nexus here at the 6th club position, but he needs to be very careful because it's very close to the tank. See, push line. He's gonna have to wait for and use his arbiters correctly to really defend against these kind of attacks. Nexus going down now. More vultures out on the field with +1 upgrades. The tanks also have the +1s, and for now, I think Rush is just gonna bunker down, just being very protecting of his bases, making sure he doesn't lose any tanks needlessly. An Arbiter is out here. Good scan. Was able to see that those Dragoons are kind of being set in invisible mode by the Arbiters here. Dragoons out here in the middle of the field trying to clear out the minefields. Rush has a very good coverage of all of the bases around the map. He plays a single mine in every single of those bases. Yeah, the game's going to go on for a little bit longer. It's very surprising that Best doesn't expand towards his enemy. He decided to expand away from the enemy, which is an interesting choice. I guess he doesn't feel confident in his ability to control the Terran army in the early game. But we are in for very crazy, long macro-oriented games, guys. Zealot with Lev is out. Best is not yet close to max yet. He's still got about 30 supply, but he might try to frontal attack with his first stasis. He's gonna try to stasis some of the units in the back. He's gonna be trying something here. The Arbiters come out here just to drag some Zealot in the front. Good scan was able to take out some of those units, and that Arbiter need to cast something. He decided to cast some of the tanks in the back. Dragoons moving forward, but the tank line is way too deep, and some of the Dragoons are not really moving on the high ground here. This bunker is buying a lot of time and blocking the path, and so is a Comsat station. Some of the Dragoons are not really positioned correctly, and some of them are even on the lower side of that ramp. But now that's going to be the end of this attack here. The tank line is way too deep, and the rest of the Dragoons are going to die. The SV might as well go and try to work out those Dragoons, but look at this, guys. Best wasted a lot of Psi in that battle. Finally, he's going to retreat the rest of his Zealots. He's going to try to drag out the most possible in that attack, but that is going to be the end. This Arbiter is going to stay a little bit longer, trying to not checking out just yet, trying to take as many free hits as possible, and then retreating. Best needs to saturate. Yeah, he does already saturate. The new base at the 6th position, but Terran is still very strong. I'm surprised that Rush doesn't take this opportunity to push forward. I guess he thinks that Best is not a noob, so Best has probably counterplay with a lot of Zealot and Dragoons and possibly High Templars in the back waiting. Should the Terran move out prematurely? We have seen one of those games, very famous game where the Terran has 6 bases, the Protoss has 5 bases, but very good army movement from the Protoss player was able to seal him the victory, and poor army movement and control and positioning from the Terran army was the cause of his downfall. Yeah, but anyways, this game is anywhere but close to completion. Terran, I'm very surprised that Rush doesn't go and take the base at 10 block. I mean, that base is easily gonna be taken. He doesn't. Oh my God! 3 probe not mining gas. Best needs to think about that. He's gonna be missing a lot. Look at this gas intake is so poor, man. He needs to fix that issue right now because he needs the maximum amount of gas he can get. He's not playing the High Templar style, so I guess it's not that much of a difference. Just purely Zealot and Dragoons. He's moving forward now, and good. What are those things called? Stasis. Sorry, not stasis. Comsat station. We have Arbiter with almost getting ready energy for a recall, but they're just gonna stay here for some time, and I'm surprised he's staying here because he's gonna be facing a lot of issues with EMP, but I guess he's decided that he's confident, but that EMP may be ready now. We have a lone tank just walking out in the middle of the area, not sure for what, and we are ready for some kind of recall. I think these units are kind of grouping up together. This Arbiter has full of energy now. Best is gonna just wait a little bit just to clear out the area, make sure his enemy cannot easily expand. Oh, that Arbiter needs to move back. The Arbiter is way too close to the turret, but the contain from the Protoss army is still quite strong. Best is ahead by about 40 supply. I'm not so sure how that was about to happen, but he's gonna take this base and gonna use his Arbiters. If he recalls now, that's gonna be the end because his forces are gonna get destroyed inside the mineral line. So he doesn't recall. He uses his energy for the Arbiters for stasis, defensive stasis, and make sure he can mine as much as possible from the base at the 7 o'clock. I approve of this strategy. This strategy is very good. Always mine the forward bases and try to use kind of defensive measures like High Templars and stasis to just defend, just to defend your bases. These Dragoons are in the corner. They have to engage now as the time moves forward. We have a recall happening now. Remember on the new Sylphid or Sylphid 3, we have this kind of area in the back that is, not visible by anything. The big recall is happening. He's gonna be all over the mineral line. There's no mineral inside. Very unfortunate. The Dark Templar, the Arbiters died. Some Zealot are not really attacking, however, and Best is not really paying attention. He's busy, trying to destroy the supply depot and the turret, which is a good idea. But he's also pushing forward in the middle map, trying to clear out some of these minefields. He has more unit ready for recall. This Arbitrus is about a minute away from another recall. He has also the energy upgrade. Oh my god, the tank was unable to clear out the Zealot, and the Zealots are attacking like crazy. And Best is gonna try a frontal attack on his base. He can go for one stasis and then go for just pure Zealot and Dragoon's attack here. He's moving in and he's gonna stasis what? I'm not so sure. He's waiting for the stasis, but Zealot moving forward and not enough mines here, not enough vultures, and the front timeline is falling, but he's not stasising some units. He needs to stasis some units on the back. He decided not to stasis. He thinks he has enough forces to just completely take over the units. Yeah, he stasis this bridge area that's gonna completely block units coming out of it. Zealot clearing out some of the vultures, but the tanks are gonna take the long way. And the Dragoons are going to attack. What? I'm not so sure. The Zealot needs to stick together with the Dragoons, but they decided to go out here. They're gonna try to buy some more time by getting moving together. But look at this, guys. Rush base is in shambles. It's like after a nuclear holocaust or something like that. Everything is destroyed and in ruins. And the science vessel also the science vessel gets saved in the last minute. Arbiter has some energy remaining. No, I don't think it does. But another recall would be devastating here. Best transferring some of the probes to a new base. We have a huge recall. No, not yet. That Arbiter doesn't have full energy. It's gonna be about 2 minutes until we get some energy. The game is definitely not yet over by any means. This Arbiter also has almost close to 100 energy, which is good for another defensive stasis. Some Dragoons walking into the minefield here, which is, I guess, okay because there's a lot of units and they can buffer for a lot of damages. So these units have finally been able to clear the path. More recall might be happening here, and Terran is going to be very careful. Look at this. How many few probes does Best have on the base of 7 o'clock? He needs to make more probes there. He's going to try the frontal attack. He's almost maxed out. The Terran army just have 3 tanks. There's very few. Some Zealot moving forward just to clear the minefield. One of the Dragoons is kind of blocking the path of the rest of the units here. But Zealot attacking, and we have very good upgrades on the Terran army. But we're going to have stasising some of the units on the back. Oh my god, that is a very beautiful stasis. That stasis almost half the tanks there. Some of the Dragoons need to move forward. They're going to move forward to attack some of the tanks on the high ground, and then they can start to shell the tanks on the low ground. Zealot can do some kind of, what are those things called? Mine drag. Sometimes on the low ground, and Best smartly retreats after seeing that there's nothing else to do here as the rest of the units have been cleared out. He's going to attack these 3 tanks here. He needs to move and surround the tanks better. He does, and 3 tanks taken out for free by Best. I think the first game is going to go to Best convincingly here. Rush doesn't have a chance. Best continuously pump out stuff from his gateways and his Stargate, and Rush is slowly running out of minerals. He's going to try to float the command center to the inner 10 o'clock position. That is going to be a good idea, but a little bit too late here. He needs to have another strategy, because Best is all over the map. He's up by about 60 supply. His arbiter count is freaking crazy. He's got more arbiters than probably Rush have tanks at this point. He's got like 7 or 8 arbiters. Vultures trying to go to the various corners, trying to look for an opportunity of attack here, but no cannons are in place, so these vultures cannot do anything. They're going to try to run to another place. Best have yet to take in the base, the natural third base, this base right here. He's saving it for later. He's going to take the other bases, which are going to be able to just, oh my god, probes getting stuck, which is going to allow Best to mine more efficiently and make sure that his enemy cannot just simply overrun him in a single attack. His arbiter comes in, and some tanks are in place, but no, those tanks are not going to be able to clear out this many units. Mine drags, Dragoons, tanks are going to be moving back, and that's going to leave room for another recall, another crazy recall in this area here. This base is going to get completely wiped out, but some tanks are in position. Zealot need to move forward. Zealot moving out, and GG by Rush. Beautifully played from Best. Let's head on to game 2, guys. Thanks for watching, and see you soon. Bye-bye.